Okay, we will start. Let them join. Put a message in the group to join. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible and my voice is audible, right? Can anyone unmute yourself and say, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So last class we discussed about the need of gradient descent algorithm in linear regression and what is the role of mean square error in linear regression, how it is dealing with gradient descent algorithm, and we have discussed what is cost function. So we have started this topic last session itself. I would like to go further about this topic in this session, and we discussed how we are dealing with the function and the data in linear regression with traditional mathematics, and how we are dealing with the problem with respect to machine learning. That we have discussed last class. Say, for example, see y equal to 2x plus 3. This is nothing but a straight line equation. Y equal to 2, so y equal to mx plus c. So normally the x values are given to you in your linear algebra problem. So you have to find the y value by applying this equation. So you have to substitute all the x values one by one in this particular equation and you have to find y. That's how you have to represent this table. This is how the linear algebra problems you have solved in your past experience in your schooling and everywhere. So here it is opposite. See, this data is given to you. X and Y is given to you. All the X values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are given to you, and the Y value. This data is given to you. X and Y is given to you. All the X values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are given to you, and the Y values are also given to you 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. These values are also given to you. By this, you have to find this particular equation. So here you are doing a reverse engineering, or you are doing it in a flipped way. Okay, so you have to find this equation. Based on this equation, you have to find what will be the value for 15 or what will be the value for 6. Like that, you have to find. Okay, so that is what we are doing with machine learning. That's how machine learning is used for prediction. That's how machine learning is using the mathematics. That's why we are always getting into the mathematical stuff and we are moving to the machine learning algorithm and stuff in order to get the better understanding. Okay. So, yeah. So, we have discussed about the mean square error formula also. Yes. Mean square error formula, when we are talking on this mean square error formula, I hope everyone know about this formula. This mean square error represented by 1 by n summation of I equal to 1 to n yi minus yi hat square. This yi hat is nothing but a yi predicted value. This is actual yi value. This is actual. This is predicted value that we have discussed in the last sum itself. What is the actual value and what is predicted thing that we have seen in the previous class itself completely how it is dealing. Yes, see here, see, based on this x and y, yeah, based on this x and y training data. Okay, based on this x and y training data, we found y equal to mx plus c. We found the slope and intercept. We found based on the slope and intercept, we found all these values. This value is nothing but a predicted value, but actual value is this. Okay, actual value is this. predicted value is this. Based on this equation, we are finding the prediction for unknown values. Okay, that may be 10, 11 or 15 in the x, we have to find y. So the difference between these two is nothing but an error. So y is this one, y hat or y predicted is this one. That's how it is represented here. Okay, yi minus y hat whole square. So mean square error. So our intention is, already we discussed, our intention is we have to draw a straight line, or we have to find a straight line which is very close to all the data points, okay, now we are doing manually, we can able to see the data points, and we are drawing straight line here or here or somewhere here. But in order to give the instruction to machine, or in order to give the instruction to this you know computer, we have to do it in a perfect way. So this line should start from here, this line should start from here. Okay, so first I am drawing a line here, and I am calculating MSE, mean square error. Mean square error is nothing but the error. Okay, the difference between actual data point and the difference between, or the distance between the actual data points and the line. Okay, our intention is to reduce the error, our intention is to get the line which is having minimum mean square error. That is our intention. Our intention is to have the line which is having minimum or very minimum mean square error. Okay, so first I have to calculate. So if the line is here, mean square error is less or high. Yes, if the line is here, the data points are residing here, line is here, so then mean square error is less or high? Yes, yeah, anyone? Unmute yourself and give your answer. Yes, please. See, the data distribution is here, the line is here, so mean square error is less or high for this particular line. I am asking this question for you. Yes, anyone? To mean? Yes, yeah, it is high. Mean square error is high. Yeah, you are right. So first I have to check with this, then I have to adjust, then I have to check the mean square error for this particular line, then I have to move like this, then I have to check mean square error here, then I have to check mean square error here. So here I have to check mean square error, then like this I need to change with many iterations, and I have to check. So it should be checked here, 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 here. Likewise, it should be checked. So just look into this. If you are doing like this, so mean square error is starting from high. Mean square error is starting from high, and it is reducing, and it is reaching global minima, the exact one, where the minimum one when compared to all other MSE. So we will reach the minimum one, and we will go further, increasing, keep on increasing. So it should be a parabolic curve. It should be a parabolic curve. Yes? Are you accepting or not? It should be a parabolic curve. Yes or no? Are you accepting or not? Yes, it should be a parabolic curve. See here, because it's starting and coming down and again increasing. So it should be a parabolic curve. See here, it is like this. It should be a parabolic curve, starting from high, coming down, coming down, coming down, reaching global minima and again getting increased. So our intention is to find global minima. In order to find global minima only, we are allowing to increase also. Okay. So this is the case. So now just look into this particular, you know, uh, graph. It is a three-dimensional graph. Here we are representing intercept, slope and MSE. If we represent these three in a three-dimensional graph, MSE, intercept and M, it should be like a parabolic. It is always parabolic curve between MSE and intercept, parabolic curve between MSE and M. But if we do this, you will you will get a cup kind of thing, cup kind of graph. I hope you can able to understand how it looks like. It's look like a you know bowl kind of curve you are getting. So here only global minima is there. See, as we discussed, it is starting from here. See, it is starting from here. The value of MSE is starting from here. So MSE is getting down, getting down, getting down, getting down, while we moving this like this. Okay, while moving this curve like this, from here to in this direction we are moving. When we are moving this particular global minima point, I mean this particular MSE is getting down and getting down. Somewhere it is reaching global minima. Somewhere it is reaching global minima. After that it is getting increased. It is getting increased like this. It is getting increased like this and reaching high. Keep on going high. So here only we are having global minima. In order to find the global minima only, we are finding the MSE for various positions in the curve. So our intention is to find global minima. Once we find global minima in MSE, in this particular point, say for example, consider this particular point is a minimum one in MSE. So in that particular point, we have to take M and intercept. We have to take the slope and intercept. Okay. So this in this particular point, the slope and intercept are the values. That is the perfect line which is fitted into the data. We can able to find the exact line which is fitted into the data with respect to M and intercept. Okay, so here we have to find M and intercept, and here we have to deal with this. So that's how the gradient descent algorithm works. Okay, that's how the gradient descent algorithm works. I hope you are following. Yes, are you following, students? Are you listening? Yes or no? Yes. So you are telling my voice is louder. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Okay. I think can you able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are following, right? Any doubt? Yes. Are you following? Any doubt for you? Okay. So if you have any doubt, or if you are having um, if you can't able to understand the concept in a clear way, just communicate with me, interrupt the class. Okay, so I would like to go ahead. See, now just look into this diagram. That this we have already discussed. So here, just look into this. Here you can get high mean square error. Okay, here you can get high mean square error. So, sorry, yeah, high MSE, and the MSE is getting reduced, and getting reduced. So, likewise, you have to adjust. Actually, this particular area is highly sensitive. See here, this particular area is highly sensitive. From here to here, this particular area is highly sensitive. Got my point? See, here only your MSC will come. Sorry, your global minimum will come. Your global minima will global minima is residing here only. It may be here or here or here. Here, these are all the sensitive areas. So we have to deal carefully in this particular region. So here it will get increased. Here it will get increased and reached high. Here it will get increased and reached high. Here only the sensitive area is residing. So here only you have to take the minimum point or global minimum point. See, that is in the graph, that is in this location. Okay, here it is high, here it is, here also it is high, here also it is high. But this area, this location, okay, this particular region is highly sensitive. Got my point? This particular region is highly sensitive. So you have to deal a little bit care. You know that is there in the gradient descent algorithm. We will see how this should be handled. I'm going to explain how this should be handled mathematically. How we are going to deal with this. Okay. Now, just look into this particular graph. In this graph, we are representing mean square error and slope. Okay. In this particular graph, we are dealing with mean square error and slope. So when we are, talking on mean square error, in that three-dimensional graph, now we are representing into a two-dimensional space. There we represent MSE, slope as well as intercept. Here I am representing MSE and slope only. Okay, MSE and slope only I am representing here. Okay, just look into this. MSE and slope I am having. So here also we are having parabolic curve. Here also we are having parabolic curve. Okay, because initially MSE is high, so MSE is getting reduced, and it will reach global minima at some point. It will reach global minima at some point. After reaching this particular point, again MSE will get increased. MSE will get increased. So that MSE will get increased. Okay, so we have to look into this particular point. This is global minima. So in this particular point, we have to take M. We have to take M. The same way global minima is represented, the same way mean square error is represented with intercept. Okay, see here, initially it is there with high MSE value, then it is getting reduced. Then MSE is getting reduced, and it is reaching a minimum point or global minimum point in intercept. Then it will get increased, and it is reaching a maximum value. So this is the relationship between mean square error and intercept. I hope you can able to understand how it is represented. What is the role of slope as well as intercept with MSE? Yes, both are parabolic curve. Yes, are you following? Yes. Now there is one question for you. You have to ask. You have to answer this question. What is the equation to represent the parabolic curve? In what equation you have to represent the parabolic curve? Yes? How the parabolic curve is represented? How the parabolic curve is represented in the equation? Yes. Unmute yourself and answer my question. See, y equal to mx plus c is the equation to represent the straight line. What is the equation to represent the parabolic curve? Yes. Tumin, Dairya, Sonal, Riddhi, unmute yourself, answer my yes.
So the difference would be that, we'll add multiple variables. Whereas, you have this single line, which is y equals to mx plus c.
Okay.
It is based on one single variable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. X is the only variable. Which, X is the
Right.
only independent variable. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm asking
Right. So
what is the equation for the parabolic curve?
I don't know the equation, sir, but I know that if we have to transform that, rather than including only one variable, we'll use multiple variables. So for one point, there would be many points which would matter to
Okay.
that point. So that will make probably a parabola or something like that, sir.
Okay. So Yash is telling y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. See, for this, if you want to get more understanding, yeah, I will show one. Yeah, even I bookmarked that. I don't know whether it. Yeah. Slope of a function at a point. It is maths is fun.com. Okay, so here if you see, I am simply drawing. So y equal to mx plus c. So here, so y equal to x square. I am putting y equal to x. Y equal to x is nothing but y equal to mx plus c. Okay, so y equal to x square, you will get parabolic. Y equal to x cube, you will get this curve. Okay, so here you will get how's the slope also getting changed. So here this may be useful for you to identify curve for different equation. Even if you substitute some value and represent or and plot, you will get. But for better understanding, I am showing this. Yes, yeah. As yeah, y equal to x square. Dipsa is giving answer. Yeah, correct. But ax square also, if you substitute doing some yeah. Okay, so that's how it is working. Now for parabolic curve, the equation is y equal to x square. Now come to this point. This is highly important thing. So it is highly sensitive. And before getting into this, I would like to get into the slope. Okay, so yeah, okay. After completing this, we will get into the slopes. Now, just look into this. Now, our intention is to minimize the global minima. Sorry, our intention is to minimize the MSC. So initially MSC is too high. Okay. After that, we are calculating MSC by changing the curve. See, like this, we are initially we are finding MSC when the line is here. Then we are moving the line and finding MSC. Okay, so we are calculating MSE here. Then after that, we are changing the curve and calculating the MSE. Our intention is to reduce the curve. Obviously, if curve is moving towards the data distribution, in the sense MSE get decreased. So second iteration MSE is here. Yes, are you following? Yes. The third iteration MSE is here. Okay. Third iteration MSE is here. Likewise, MSE is getting decreased. So you can able to understand MSE is getting reduced. So first you are calculating MSE by keeping the line here, and second you are doing the MSE here. What I'm trying to convey is you are calculating MSE by keeping your line here. After that, long step you are taking. You are taking long step. If you are taking long step, you will get only minimum number of iteration. I'm going to tell what is the problem in taking long step. Now you are calculating MSE by keeping your curve here or keeping your line here. After that, you are keeping your line straight away here and calculating MSE. After that, you are keeping your line straight away here and you are calculating MSE. And after that, here, after that, here, after that, here, after that, long step. What will happen in taking long step? See, you are calculating MSE here, MSE here. If you take long step, you may take step like this. See, you may take step like this. You may take step like this from here to here. See, if you take step, from here to here, if you take step from here to here, what will happen? You will lose the global minima. Either here to here, if you take step here to here, you lost the global minima. Yes or no? You lost the global minima if you take a longer step. Yes? Yes or no? Agreeing or not? Are you following? Yes? Arun Singh, tell me, am I right? Are you following? Umesh? No reply from your side. Students? Yeah. Sonal is giving response. Yes, you are following, right? Any doubt? Yes, to me? Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yours is giving response. Okay. See, so if we take longer step, we may miss global minima. Okay, we may miss global minima. So, what will happen if I take very little step, like baby step? If I take steps like too slow. If I take steps like simple steps like this, if I take, what will happen? Number of iteration get increased. Okay, number of iteration get increased, so cost will get increased. Okay, more number of iteration we have to do, cost will get increased. So we have to mix the, so here this area is not a sensitive area, only this area is sensitive area. Only this area is sensitive area. As we discussed in the graph, just look into this. This area, actually this is not a sensitive area. Up to this, see, up to this it is not a sensitive area. Up to this it is not a sensitive area. Here it is not sensitive, but here it is highly sensitive. Here it is highly sensitive. So here only the curve, get changed. The parabolic bottom part will come. Okay, the parabolic bottom part will come there only. Okay, so what we need to do is, here we have to take baby steps. Very small steps here we need to take. Okay, and here also you can take longer step. So here you can take longer step, here you have to take sensitive steps, here you can take longer step. Okay, this is the conclusion, and this way gradient descent algorithm works, and this way only gradient descent algorithm works. It is absolutely fine. Okay, this way only gradient descent algorithm works. This way only, you know, it is going. But the thing is, how gradient descent algorithm works, how gradient descent algorithm solve this problem, this, how it is choosing mathematically, how it is, the instruction has been given to the system in this particular situation. That is highly important. That's what we have to look into it. Yes. See now. So yeah, for that we have to get into slope one step ahead. So we have to get into slope in more detailed way. Okay, we have to get into the slope in more detailed way. How slope is calculated. Already you have knowledge about slope. Already you have knowledge about slope. Already you know how the slope works. Okay, already you have knowledge about slope, how slope works, everything you know already. But even though we have to get into slope more detailed way or more deeper way, we have to get into one step ahead in slope. Okay, so before get into this slope, I would like to ask this question to you. What is the formula to calculate the slope? Yes, what is the formula to calculate the slope? Okay, so you are sharing, Yash have shared a Jamboard to do this diagram and other stuff. Yeah, I know about this Jamboard. Yeah, thanks for that. So, yeah, I will try to work with that. Okay, so actually this platform, Google Meet is new for me. Previously, I was working with Zoom, but Zoom is a paid version. For more than 100 participants and more than 30 minutes if you want to use Zoom. In the sense, I felt comfortable with Zoom because Zoom was a longer time in this online conference and all. But anyway, yeah, even I'm planning to buy a pen tab also. uh, yeah, I will. Yeah, thanks for this help, Yash. um, Yeah, yeah. I thought of asking some question to. Yeah, yeah. Slope. What is the formula for slope? Can anyone unmute yourself and communicate with me? What What is the? Yeah, good. Krunal is saying that is
So delta y upon delta x.
good. Good. Yeah, good, Sonal. And Krunal shared that delta y and delta y, that is nothing but change in y by change in x. Yeah, absolutely right. Change in y divided by change in x. So now just look into this particular image that we have discussed in the previous sessions also. So if the line is straight, slope is 0. I have given that bicycle riding analogy also. If you're riding a bicycle in a plane, slope is 0. In a straight road, slope is 0. So if you're climbing up in a mountain, slope get increased positively. So when you're coming down in the mountain or when you go down, slope get decreased up to infinity. It will get decreased minus up to plus infinity. It will get increased slope. Okay. So this is the thing. So here this is nothing but a positive slope. This is nothing but a negative slope that we have discussed already. Okay. Now, as you said, as Sonal and Kunal said, see here, the formal formula for slope is change in y divided by change in x. Okay, how much is it is changed in y and how much it is changed in x. See here, if we go with the points, the change in y is 1, 2, 3. Change in y is 3. So 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 by 5 is the slope here. See here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 by 5 is the slope value which we are having. Okay, so we have to do the 3 divided by 5 and that will give the slope value. So this formula I hope you know already we discussed. Now so this diagram will give you a better understanding. See 3 by 6 here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can able to calculate slope of a line or slope of two lines, slope between two points in a line. Okay, here we are calculating slope of a line between 2 points. Okay, here we are taking one point, another point is here, and we are calculating the slope between these 2 points. Okay, we're calculating the slope between these 2 points. So that's how it is coming 3 by 6. And wherever you calculate, the slope will come in the same way in a straight line, because here it is we are dealing with straight line, but you can able to calculate how to find a slope between two lines, 2 points, between 2 points in a line. Okay, be clear. Now we are calculating slope. We are calculating slope of a straight line between 2 points in a line. Okay, between 2 points in a line. Here, I hope you know how negative slope works, how positive slope works, how zero slope, everything we discussed this diagram also. So no need to get into this again. Now, just look into this. Now, our intention is we have to find slope of a point. Got my point? We have to find slope of a point, slope of a specific point we have to do. Okay, slope of a point calculated by differential calculus. Okay, for this we have to get the help from differentiation in mathematics. We have to get the help from differential calculus. That is nothing but a differentiation. Okay, how do you find slope of a point? See slope between two points we can calculate. See, this change in y is 24, change in x is 15. Change in x is 15, so 24 by 15 we can able to calculate slope between 2 points. Now our intention is we have to find slope of a point. Why we are finding the slope of a point? The reason behind finding slope of a point is here. Just look into this. Just look into this. Here, what we have discussed. See, here MSE is getting reduced. MSE is getting reduced. After this, whether I need to take a baby step or whether I need to take a longer step, that you need to decide. Okay, when point is here, the next point is here. So here, if MSE is getting reduced, okay, if you are clear about that, you can take a longer step. See here, if slope is not changing much, see here, look into this. In this area, slope is not getting changed much. But here, this area is highly sensitive. This area is highly sensitive. Here, slope is getting changed. Slope is getting changed a lot. And here also, slope is not getting changed. Okay. Here also, slope is not getting changed. Just look into this. From here to here, it is almost straight line. slope is not getting changed a lot, right? But here in this particular area is highly sensitive. Here slope is changing a lot. Okay, so in order to take longer step or baby step, you have to decide whether longer step is advisable here or baby step is advisable here. Okay, in order to take a decision whether next step will be a longer step or baby step, in order to take that particular decision, you have to find the slope. You have to find the slope between, you have to find the slope of this point. If you find slope of this point, say for example, finally your point is here. So if you find slope of this particular point, you can able to get the direction. If the direction is here, longer way, you can able to take a longer step, but your direction get changed. If you know your direction is going to get changed, then you have to take only a baby step. You have to take only baby step, and you have to go up to this only. You can't able to take steps like this. You have to take a very small step only, because this area is sensitive. Okay, how you came to know about the direction? You'll come to know about the direction based on the slope value. Okay, slope value of this point. So in order to do that, we are going to find slope value. See, now come to this slope of a point. Okay, for that only we have to find slope of a point. Okay, in order to find the direction of curve, in order to find the direction of curve, or in order to decide whether I am going to take a longer step or baby step, you have to find slope of a point. So in order to find slope of a point, you have to go with differential calculus. Just look into this. I hope you know how to find slope of a line, or slope between 2 points in a line. The formula is delta y divided by delta x. Okay, now just look into this. In the same way, if you do, just look into this particular diagram. Here in this particular point, if you calculate the change in y, then change in x, both change in y and change in x is 0. Okay, if you take any point in a curve and calculate change in change in y direction and change in x direction, both will be 0. So you'll get confusion like, so 0 by 0 is slope. Actually 0 by 0 is not a slope for this particular point. So in order to find slope of a point, you should not follow the formula delta y divided by delta x. That means change in y divided by change in x. For that, you have to get the help from differential calculus. So I would like to get into this particular file. So here I have the equations and all. Yeah. Now see, just consider curve is x square. Just consider curve is x square. I hope you know how the x square curve is represented. Yes. See here how the x square curve is represented. X square is nothing but a parabolic curve. Yes or no? Yes, are you following? Are you following or not? Yes, students? Okay. Yes, any doubt up to this? To mean the area? Unmute yourself and answer me. Are you following? No. Okay. So no means you are not following, or no doubt. Okay. So just listen. These are all the important things. So if your curve is x square, that should be, sorry, if your function is y equal to x square, your curve is parabolic. So if your curve is x cube, if your function is x cube, the curve is little bit different. So now we are dealing with parabolic curve only, because the relationship between MSE and slope, the relationship between MSE and the intercept, both are, you know, in terms of parabolic curve, that we have discussed already. Now just come to this Word file now. So what is the value of d by dx of x square? If you do differentiation, against x square, what you will get? You will get differentiation of x square. What answer you will get? Yes, 2x, right? So you have to reduce 1 in the power, and you have to write like 2x. For x cube, it is 3x square. Okay, I think no doubt in this. You are already familiar with the differential calculus, so I don't want to get into differential calculus much. So you have to do a differentiation. See, if you do differentiation on any expression, if you are dealing with a single variable, if you are applying differentiation on any expression, you will get another expression like 2x and 3x square. Okay, this is nothing but slope of a point in that particular curve. Okay, see, let me clear. If x square is your curve, if you want to find slope of any point in that curve, you have to differentiate this curve and you have to get 2x. Okay, if you apply this 2x, you can able to get the slope of that particular point in that curve. Okay, so the same way, if x cube is your curve, if you want to find slope of any point in that particular curve, you have to differentiate that x cube and you have to get 3x square, and you have to use this formula in order to find slope of any point in that curve. Okay, now come to this slide. See here, just look into this particular diagram. See here, so I hope everyone know the formula or the expression for this particular curve is y equal to x square, because it is a parabolic curve. So what will be the value if you apply differentiation, or if you apply differential calculus on x square, what you will get? If you apply differential calculus on this particular curve, what you will get? Yes, I am talking with you. Answer my question. Yes, unmute yourself and talk. What you will get? Yes? Yeah, 2x, right? So see here, in this particular, now my intention is I need to find slope for this particular point. What is the x value in this particular point? What is the x value in this particular point? Yes? Good? Yeah? 2 is the x value in this particular point. 2 is the x value. So just apply this formula, 2x. So 2 into 2, 4. So slope of this particular point in this particular curve is 4. If the curve is x cube, slope is 3x square. So 3 into 3 into 4, 12 is the slope number. Okay, here slope is 4 because formula is 2x. So in that way you have to identify slope. for a particular point in a curve. Okay, this formula is only to identify a slope of a particular point in a curve. If you want to identify slope between two lines, you can use the traditional formula. So if you want to identify slope of a particular point in a curve, in the sense, you have to get the help from differential calculus. So that's how the gradient descent algorithm works. After identifying the slope, how it is dealing with the slope, how we are going to take the baby step, and how we are going to reach the global minima. That's what we are going to discuss in next class. Okay, so would like to take attendance here. Before taking attendance, I would like to ask if there is any doubt with you. Yeah, you can able to communicate with me. I can clear you, because if you have any doubt in these steps, you will not get you can't able to get clear idea on the gradient descent algorithm. So if you are lagging behind the concept of gradient descent algorithm, it is very difficult to implement that in the laboratory using Python. I hope everyone is clear. Yeah. Yes or no? Not getting any answer from you. Yes. Archan, Arun Singh, Ayuj. Unmute yourself and communicate with me. Yes. Do you have any doubt? Dipsa, Fenil, Forum, Harsh. Harsh is communicating. Yes. No doubt. Okay. So let me take attendance. TC 3 students. TC 3 students. Rushil absent. Arun Singh.
Present, sir.
Arun Singh present. Prapti. Ayush. Dipsa. Datkan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Datkan, is this your first class?
Sir, Dipsha.
Oh, Dipsha. Yeah, for you also. Yeah, it is second class. Okay. So Ria. Yash.
Present, sir.
Okay. Parth Roy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Forum.
Yes, sir.
Suraj.
Nine.
Yes, Archan.
Yes, sir.
Ayuj.
Yes, sir.
Balakrishna.
Yes, sir.
Dhairya,
Yes, sir.
Anil,
Yes, sir.
Harsh,
Yes, sir.
Eli absent. Et,
Yes, sir.
Etvi, Javin Kumar, Jinal,
Yes, sir. Naveen Kumar.
Javin Kumar present.
Yes, sir.
Jinal, Karan, Komal,
Yes, sir. Komal.
Kunal.
Yes,
Kunal
sir.
present. Okay, Lata, Manali, Manchi, Kiada,
Yes, sir.
Mayank,
Yes, sir. Present.
Meet, Milan, Sonal,
Present, sir.
Nesh, Nildeep, Nishant,
Present, sir.
Falak,
Yes, sir.
Parth,
Yes, sir.
Riddhi,
Yes, sir.
Riddhi Nantavara,
Yes, sir.
Rudvi,
Yes, sir.
Rudvik,
Yes, sir.
Shashi,
Yes,
Sheena, yes, Shashi Ranjan, Sheena Bansal, Sherin, Tumin,
Yes, sir.
Umesh,
Yes, sir.
Vikash, Yash Kumar, Yog,
Present, sir.
okay, Kavan Kumar, sorry, sir.
Hello, sir.